Ladies and gentlemen, Gits and Grots, welcome back. We've got a 2v2 match for you here tonight on the Dawn of War 2 Elite mod. We've got the Chaos Lord, old broken down Python, his ally, Ruthless at heart, as the Imperial Guard Inquisitor. She's so dark, she's so spooky. She's got the spells, she's got the weapons, and she's got more men than you can shoot down with any number of bolters. And their opponents, the Swarm, Crysis as the Hive Tyrant, and who knows who this is over here, but also the Hive Tyrant. Does anyone know who that is? I don't recognize that name. But we've got a lot of nids against an alliance, an unlikely alliance of an Inquisitor and Chaos. Sometimes even the Inquisitor knows that she needs a little help with the buggos. Golgotha Depths is a bit of a weird map. Some people feel like this is the favored side over here with this ledge looking down over the central victory point. I do often feel that is quite an advantage, but it can easily go either way. I don't think it's enough of an advantage that it really matters all that much when it comes down to it. Alright, Hive Tyrant and all the Gaunts and Gants coming into the middle. Looks like we've got double Terma and Horma for both sides, so there's a lot of range damage out here. No Toxin Sacks out here yet for the Chaos Lord to come in. Hive Tyrant looks a bit confused, but the Chaos Lord's in here. He's hacking away. He's doing what he can, but the Imperial Guard continue to fire into the Gant squads. It looked like kind of an unsure commitment from the blue team. They didn't seem to really commit to trying to gun any of this down, and now the Nids are just swarming forwards. We've got about 40 Gaunts up here. The Hive Tyrant's leading the charge, not really taking much damage yet, but they're now splitting off to attack their respective opponents. Chaos getting forced back, Imperial Guard as well. The first engagement easily going to the Nids, and now the Spore Mines are up here. They're not even going to detonate. Just the threat of the Spore Mine detonation is enough to scare off all those guardsmen. Warriors coming out up here as well. A full gen farm now down for the blues. Still only just the one generator down for the red. Some Chaos Space Marines have sought refuge inside of that garrison there, so they're going to continue to get a little DPS out. The thing with this building is that there aren't that many windows on each side, so really only one or two Chaos Space Marines still get to fire in any singular direction at a time. An early 2-0 cap means the VPs are starting to tick away over here. Inquisitor was getting some work done on the far side over there, but as you can see, it just it's going to come to an end pretty quickly here. Adrenal glands on the Hormagaunts as the power tends to get smashed up over here, and again, the Chaos Space Marines seeking shelter inside of these numerous Orc towers. Golgotha Depths at some point apparently owned by the Orcs, because you can see all these janky buildings with their kind of trademark checkerboard designs over here. The Nids still laying on the pressure. They got a couple generators. It looks like they will get another. The Noise Marines might be enough to force them off, but there's still warriors up here. There's still a Hive Tyrant as well. Finally being forced back. The Inquisitor even goes down on retreat. It's a pretty easy resurrection spot though, so the Chaos Lord should be able to pick up his ally. And now Raveners, as we would expect from old Crysis. Crysis loves the Raveners. In 3v3s, we pretty regularly see him running the Nid range blob of doom. Double Raveners, double Termagants, and some Venom cannons. We'll see if that happens this game or not. But yeah, this just looks like one huge Nid army. I mean, Hive Mind or not, they're both mirroring each other's builds pretty effectively here. Same stuff out on both sides. Do we have same upgrades? They're still vanilla, so it has as of yet undetermined. No war gear for any of the commanders, really. Sentinel took quite a bit of damage there, so it's getting a patch job before the next scuffle. 371 to 478, and you know, with the power of that initial Tyranid push, that's kind of what you would expect the VPs to be at right now. Finally, we've got some deterrence over here, slowing down the Tyranid advance. We've got a heavy weapons bolter out there. The suppression going to pretty much stop this advance cold, and now, oh my gosh. A nice looking old reliable. But will that be enough to stop them? The Raveners don't quite want to jump in on this on their own right yet. Oh my gosh, and even a nice looking IED, but it doesn't quite have the positioning it needed to hit the Raveners, so it looks like it's going to be a full retreat again. Chaos spread out over the south side of the map. It looks like they are going to cede the power farm. They'd already lost a couple generators. Now they're losing the whole thing. This is looking rough for Team Blue. Python and Ruthless need to get something done here, lest they just completely get knocked out of the game. It's a triple cap against them. Their gen farm's going down. The Nids continue to push forward. Catachan explosive shells. Heavy weapons team can't get set up. The Hive Tyrant is forced off. Barb Strangler Warrior doing some great work, but they were getting a little bit low, so they had to fall back at least out of the line of fire, lest they risk those Synops bombs going off and knocking back all of the lesser Nids. Great micro so far, dodging the Sentinel and then ultimately destroying it. Suppression continues, but meanwhile, during all of this, Chaos has been getting work done too. Chaos found an opening, recognized that both Nibs were on the north side of the map, comes to the south, burns down, and decaps the generators for the Tyranid forces. So it looks like this might have been a null-sum engagement. So long as the Imperial Guard doesn't lose anything else here, oh my gosh, this heavy weapons team in a lot of trouble. If the heavy weapons team goes down, this could be huge. The Raveners are swinging away, but it looks like it will narrowly avoid being deleted out of this game. Not a complete meal for those Raveners, at least not this time around. 253 to 470. The Chaos flank has been hugely effective. It slowed down the Tyranid tech. It took back the VPs. It stemmed the bleed, at least for the moment. The IG was forced to hold all of that, and of course that feels frustrating when you're the IG player, but you have to recognize that Python took what was a terrible situation and made the best of it. Got a great flank in and did some good stuff in the meantime. And the Nids weren't feeling confident enough to build this power, so they're actually they're probably just about even, maybe even a little behind at this point. Especially getting a second Ravener. I don't know whose that is, so we're just going to say Crysis' ally with the double Rav. They're going to be way behind in tech at this point. Ruthless going into tier 2. I don't know. It's looking rough. They don't control any of the requisition even. Like, all of their natural rec points are now starting to mature for the blue team. This is the only one they've got. What? There's one Ravener. Where are the rest of the... Oh, here they are. What are you guys doing? Get on that node. This is a big scary Nid force. This is still intimidating. But with blue team heading into tier 2 well ahead of their opponents, you can see they've got these generators down over here. They even stopped the gen bash attempt. The Nids are just not capitalizing on their position. They finally dropped some gens in the middle, I guess feeling that that's a more likely spot for them to hold instead of the northern side, northwestern side over there, but I don't know if I agree with that. Immolation coming in from the Combat Flamer, not really doing much of anything, just a bit of zone denial. Chaos Lord just likes fire, that's okay. Sometimes you just want to play with that later, you know? It's alright. A great setup, and this is what we were talking about, right? This ledge is so great for setup teams. They're largely safe from melee, and you need some kind of long-range disruption or knockback to really pressure a setup team out there. The Crysis' ally continuing to take back the southern side of the map, maybe going for the decap on that middle power over there. It looks like nothing's over there to stop it, at least for the moment. But the cost of that will mean ceding the center of the map and the gen farm that they recently built. So their power is still going to be well behind that of their allies. We've got Assault Kit Stormtroopers already out here. We've got so much range damage, but the Raveners get in. The Barge Stranglers connect, and they get a full rout on the Space Marine Army. '2011 gets up there just just in time to secure the mid, and now looks like he will be able to take the bottom tower as well. Blood Crusher coming in next, the first tier 2 tech we'll be seeing on the field. I mean, the first vehicle, I guess. We saw Stormtroopers, but they're kind of just more squishy infantry. They've got that DPS, though, that long-range bursty deeps. Can actually be very threatening to Nid forces, especially if they can get that down on warriors. Blood Crusher's here and looking to rip through some Nid forces, but they're just going to disengage. They're going to try to kite it around for the moment. I'm actually not sure where Python's intending to send this. I guess he wants to force off these guys so he can attempt, at least, to take back that gen farm. Chaos Lord went down over here, as we can see, next to the Hive node. It's not called a, what is it, a brood nest? The brood nest. You just gotta say buggy-sounding words. You'll eventually get it right. Crysis heading into tier 2, but the Blood Crusher's still out here, and there's not a good answer for it. It's just going to completely negate the Barbed Strangler warriors. They're trying to kite around as much as they can. Noise Marines choosing not to capture back the power. They actually burn down all the generators and the node, recognizing that they're not likely going to hold it against the Nids, at least for the moment. Sometimes you gotta go Scorched Earth and destroy your own buildings. Just better in the long run. The Nids look like they're gathering back up in the center, trying to bring the full force of the swarm to bear. Do we have a Crush Claw or anything coming down for the Hive Tyrant? He does have the improved Synapse, making everything quite a bit more tanky. Increases the health. Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't think there was any additional damage, but yeah, 25% health on everything within Synapse is quite significant. Broodnest is going to get taken down, and it looks like they might even be able to get a res on the Chaos Lord over here if they're lucky. The Manticore's out. It has been revealed. It didn't really do too much. Shock Grub hits the Blood Crusher, but there's nothing here to take advantage of it. There is the Venom Cannon now upgraded on at least one of those Hive Tyrants, but the Blood Crushers are here and they're ready to shut it down. They get on top of him. It's enough to take him out. The Hellfury Strike comes down on top of everything, and it's just chaos in the middle. Hormagaunts are going down to the force of the Inquisitor on the north side, and now the Blood Crusher, emboldened with the push, forces all the Nids deeper into enemy territory, but it looks like the Heretics might pay for their lives. The engagement, now that the Inquisitor is here, is going to the blue team, forcing off all the Tyranids. One squad at a time. There was just nothing to stop the Blood Crusher. The Reds did get some good kills in that engagement, but now, oh my gosh. Narrowly escaping are the Bloodletter Demons. The Warrior Brood not enough to finish the job. Catechins even secure one final kill with that All Reliable, and suddenly all is quiet yet again. Manticore hanging back. A little scuffle in the center here. We've got 2011 moving back up. Catechin IED easily spotted by the detection of the Warriors. Chaos Lord's back on the field though. Rosaria's coming in for the Inquisitor, so between the Holy Brazier and the Rosarias, she'll actually be quite dangerous if those Warriors get too close. This looks like it's going to be a hard army for the Tyranids to break into now. There are Venom Cannons out here now, but with these two Warrior squads, of course, you do have to be quite careful. Ooh, is the Electroshock going to be enough? Not quite, though. If Blood Crusher survives, but the Chaos Lord won't be so lucky. 123 to 418, the red team had the blue team on the ropes as far as victory points are concerned. That said, even though the blue team's looking quite strong here, all they need to do is lose the map a few more times at this stage, and it could spell the end of the game. Chaos Space Marines upgraded with Siege and everything. Narrowly escaping with 7 HP. Very fortunate. All skill, no luck, I'm sure. Two very different Hive Tyrants over here. Especially considering that one's down and one isn't. One Hive Tyrant rocking the downed Hive Tyrant with the Venom Cannon bonded exoskeleton. Meanwhile, we've got a much more directly aggressive guy over here with the Crush Claw and the improved Synapse. The Crush Claw, of course, the highest DPS melee weapon in the game. So no one really wants to fight that Hive Tyrant straight on. Especially not the Inquisitor. These Barbed Strangler shots really doing a great job of locking down these Imperial Guard forces. But they turned to engage the Inquisitor, which gave them time to maybe escape. Nice knockback. Burrow Strike comes in from the Ravener, allowing the Nids to close the distance. Two squads of Barbed Stranglers now just suppressing everything in sight on top of doing some pretty reasonable AoE damage. And now 2011 pushes up, able to get over here and lift up Crysis' Hive Tyrant and push back the majority of the Imperial Guard yet again. Chaos is not going to stand for it, though. Two squads of Siege Marines going to make very short work and kill warrior models in a quick burst of fire if they're not careful. Oh my gosh, look at this setup. So much range damage over here. If this Noise Marine connects with the blob, it hits the gaunts and gamps, but it doesn't hit any of the warriors, unfortunately. Blood Crusher goes charging in. Where does the Blastmaster hit? It's the knockback is amazing. Bloodletters teleport in. The demons are here. Electroshock's down. The Blood Crusher's in a lot of trouble. Can the Hive Tyrant finish it off? It only needs another poke. Is it going to be enough? The roar sends him back. But he loses in the midst of all that. A squad of Chaos Space Marines. Siege Marines not cheap. A pretty big loss there to the ranged DPS of the Chaos Forces. Python just barely saves that Blood Crusher. Is this a fight that the Inquisitor wants to take? Apparently so. Opening up the All Reliable into a Hellfury Strike. Fire and flame go down everywhere. Plasma now pouring into the Tyranid forces. Two fully upgraded squads of Plasma Troopers, along with now two Stormtroopers, one of which has the Assault Kit. This is some pretty severe range damage. Spore Mine's coming out, though. Needs to be very careful. It does some great damage, but without any range firepower to support it, it doesn't actually get any kills. Crysis and 2011 now down to effectively a tier 1 Tyranid army. I believe the Adrenal Gland Warriors? I'm looking for them. I think they're gone. Or sorry, the Venom Cannon Warriors, yes. I'm not sure where this one's going, folks. The Tyranid lost a lot. I mean, Chaos is... both sides have been losing stuff. But the Manticore went down to that Venom Cannon Hive Tyrant, so they lost that ability for long-range disruption. Oh, look at those grenades! Finish off the Raveners outright. This is so much damage. Two Assault Kit Stormtroopers do not mess around. The Raveners couldn't even close the gap. So Ruthless is man, that's a hard thing to say, isn't it? Ruthless's army, while high damage, is pretty low tech. It's all infantry. It's a purely infantry-based army, which is, as you would expect, pretty uncommon for Imperial Guard. Normally you have at least that Chimera to provide some on-the-field reinforcement, but normally at this point, if you've been playing strongly, you've got your Chimera and your Sentinel still alive, and you're working your way towards a Lehman Russ. Ruthless is going into tier 3. Crysis is already there and has a Neurothrope coming out, which, well, it's, to say the least, it's going to be bad news for Ruthless's numerous guardsmen. Stormtroopers and guardsmen, Catechins even, aren't going to want to deal with that.
Allies have taken a power node.
Can the Chaos Forces still fight this without that second squad? Let the Galaxy Burn comes in, the Fire and Flames comes in again. There's just so much fire in this game. between the Combo Flamer, the Armor of the Inferno, and those Hell Fury strikes from the Inquisitor. Woo! Burninating everything. Psychic Scream over here now, so in addition to that bonus Synapse, it now has damage reduction, so if the Hive Tyrant's pushing that side, it's going to be pretty tough for any damage to get done. 104 to 272. The Blues are closing the gap. Do you think they'll be able to finish this one out? The Neurothrope is actually quite far up. He needs to be careful here. Yeah, I mean, look at these Assault Kit Stormtroopers quickly in a single volley, taking that thing down to about half of its health. Of course, it does have some health drain abilities. Look at that. Immediately back to full. Barb Strangler doing a good job suppressing everything. We want to see that, again, the knockback. But I think it's Cataclysm? I think Cataclysm's the one we saw. And then there's some sort of life drain ability. Percentage-based damage. Not much of that in this game. But against those beefier squads, it can be crazy. Chaos holding this point strong. It's a triple cap right now. Oh, the Tyranid formation's coming in. Is it actually going to hit these Blastmasters? I'm not sure. It still doesn't knock over the Blastmasters. The Blastmasters are up. The Tyranid formation, not enough, potentially, to break this Chaos location. They're holding strong. Ravener's going down. Blastmaster continuing to fire away, not really hitting too much, but the upside is that the Hive Tyrant and Gene Stealers do finally manage to take out the Blood Crusher. The Noise Marine trying to do what it can, dropping the sick beats. Great control from the Neurothrope so far, keeping the Imperial Guard locked in their base. Hive Tyrant still desperately trying to take back his natural VP. It's been a long engagement down here, but now the Psychic Scream comes in. And I feel like this is the perfect opportunity for the Gene Stealers to get in here and start tearing through power armor. Heretics in trouble, Space Marines in trouble. Blastmaster seeks to hide once again inside of the garrison. But this is going to be a lost squad of Heretics. Potentially the Bloodletters too. They need to get out of here like 10 seconds ago. I don't know why they're still in this fight. Nice shot from the Blastmaster. At least buys some time to stall. Meanwhile, up top, grenades go down. The Guardsmen come out firing. It looks like the Bloodletters will escape. The cap just barely gets completed. Barb Strangler Warriors almost paid for it with the whole squad over here. Old broken down Python coming with a not so broken down tank. In just a moment, it'll be on the field, and now a Neurothrope out for 2011 as well, with 2 Neurothropes out. I don't know what the plan. Oh, what? Oh dear, what a waste! It might even do more damage to his ally than his opponent. Imperial Abyss gets open, but unfortunately, that's a lot of red down the drain by the looks of it. That said, the Termagants are wasting time over here. They should be decapping this point. 180 to 77. Oh no, the Gene Stealers, they're not going to make it home, are they? One more blast from that. Oh, the Predator finishes it off with heavy bolters. It didn't even need the main gun. Meanwhile, the Imperial Guard still can't even break out of their base. Ruthless on the wrong side of a Neurothrope. This is quite a choke point. I mean, the Neurothrope can just kind of aerial deny this. He's going to have to probably go around, but wherever you looked, it's kind of chokes to get into the middle of the map here. Oh, the Bloodletters catching out the Neurothrope. That would be a tasty, tasty kill. Do they have a teleport? I'm guessing no, or they would have gone for it. VP's constantly changing hands. This looks like we've stalled out a little bit here at 76 to 165. Oh my gosh, just look at it. Paroxysm, that's the other one. I just remembered, guys. I got there. It's a silly word, and I can't think of those all the time. Hormagaunts go down, thrown at the point. Unable to do anything about it. So many infantry, but so little they can do against this onslaught. Bioengineered killing machines. It looks like, yeah, he decides this is a bit too much. He has no choice but to hit that mass retreat button. They've been so close, they've had their enemy under 100 victory points for so long, they can taste the victory, but they just need to make sure that they're not so careless to throw it away. Venom cannons moving in. Oh no, the Predator just went for its mark. It's now showing its rear armor. Oh, a big mistake. A big throw from Python. Let the Galaxy Burn comes in. There's so many abilities constantly going off. Spore Mine's getting dropped on the back line over there. Chaos Lord looks like he's probably overextended, but another Imperial Abyss. Did he really have that much red? Look at this. Obliterated. 2 squads go down. Oh man, out of the fire and into the warp. The Neurothrope got knocked clear of the Imperial Abyss, but got thrown right into the reach of the Bloodletters. Is this a Barbed Strangler? Yes, a Barbed Strangler Carnifex. If you were having trouble with the Neurothrope before, the Barbed Strangler is going to be just as much of a nightmare. 2011 had his army ripped apart by that Imperial Abyss. Blastmaster not quite connecting yet again. Python purchasing another Chaos Predator. 76 to 143. The VPs haven't changed much over the past several engagements. Neither side can really seem to get a grasp on any point in this map. Oh my gosh, the autocannon plus the Hell Fury strike. A dozen Gants gone in the blink of an eye. One squad does go down. The second squad escapes with just a couple models. Things are looking rough. But with the Neurothropes and the Carnifexes, it could be enough to hold. These are very powerful late-game units. And like I was saying about Ruthless's army, though it is very powerful, it is high DPS, it is very low tech. There's not a lot of utility here. Largely, this army can just kind of blob up and shoot. The way he's blobbing up to is just perfect for both the Neurothrope and this Barbed Strangler. Let's see what Python's got in mind over here. Python coming in with the flank. The Chaos Prayer's out here. It has its mark of corn already, so it's not going to get itself stranded out here. But there is still a Venom Cannon Hive Tyrant and Venom Cannon Warrior Brood out here. Is this going to be it? I don't see the blue team getting back into this. Can they prevent these last few VPs from ticking away? It's a 2-0 cap. Corn Worship goes down. Chaos goes charging into the center of the map. Can he do something about this? So far, his map control's been really great. Python's been doing an awesome job of taking care of the map wherever he can. That's kind of what's kept them in the game so far, but it's 117 to 37 with a triple cap against them. I don't know how they're going to stop this. They have about 10 seconds to start getting a decap somewhere, potentially on both sides of the map. 22 and dropping. The Nids are here in full force, but so is Chaos. The Blastmaster gets denied. The decap goes down on one. Can they capture the other? It's all coming down to this. They're going to get the point. It stops. The countdown stops at 4 points. And now both sides are throwing everything they have into the middle of the map. A Lictor's been purchased here to rip apart and stop that setup team. The Noise Marines go down. A third Imperial Abyss opens in the center of the map, forcing the Nids into a pretty terrible situation. The Noise Marines do get obliterated. A second Predator's out on the field, and this Barbed Strangler Carnifex in a lot of trouble. One Predator's down. The Carnifex might not be long for this world, though. Between the fusion gun and the Chaos Predator, I can't see that thing escaping. There's an auto cannon on the back line, too. And just to be sure, we've got a rocket run to deny that cap. That cap would have been the end of the game. You could take no risks. Sometimes you gotta drop 500 red to stop a Termagon squad from capping. And that is when you're at 4 victory points remaining. Oh no, but the decap! The Lictor gets the decap, and that's gonna be the game. They sneak it away. I think the Predator would have gone down here anyways, and they still would have been able to take the game. But boy, was it close. Oh my gosh. That was an insane game. That was, I mean, you know, you can look at the middle of the map and see that. Woo! I don't know. Crysis was down to nothing but a Neurothrope. 2011, though, had a Lictor, the Venom Brood. It's a tough call. If that cap hadn't gone down, I just don't think, I don't think Ruthless had what he needed at that point. He was still a long ways away from a Lehman Russ. And it's possible even that all this infantry, this huge infantry army, kind of slowed him down from getting his tech up. Because after the Manticore dropped, we just never saw any more vehicles from Ruthless at heart. Oh my gosh. Alright, well, we're definitely sending this one to the YouTube. So if you enjoyed it, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Those of you here live on Twitch, I hope you guys had a good time as well. That wraps it up for this one, and guys, we will catch you next time.